Sandy Says Read, and welcome to the channel, and welcome to the end of April's International Poetry Month. I want to acknowledge that this is probably not going to be uploaded until early May, but we are filming this at the end of April. We're filming it for acknowledgement of April's International Poetry Month and the awesomeness of poetry. In April, I think on the 22nd of April, the folks over at the 24-hour poetry marathon opened registration for this year's 24-hour poetry marathon. That marathon is happening on the 17th of May. You guys, I can't believe I'm getting these numbers. Okay, 17th of May is the 24-hour poetry marathon. You can either do a 24-hour marathon or a 12-hour marathon. There are two 12-hour ones in the 24 hours, because that's how that works. I will put a link to the registration information in the drop-down box below, because that is an awesome, cool exercise right there. There is a huge dopamine rush at the end of that 24 hours when you have written 24 sucky poems. Yeah, it's usually sucky stuff. For me, it's usually a bunch of stuff that is just really awful, but it's stuff that you can then massage and manipulate and edit and make into, reasonable poetry. Okay. So for right now, what we're going to do, we're going to read some poetry that people have written and published. The most recent World Literature Today magazine has arrived. Get the glare off of it. There we go. Which month is it? Is it the April issue? It should say. This is the May-June 2025 edition of World Literature Today. And in this edition, there were a few poems that I thought were cool and fabulous. I'm going to read just a handful of them for you. Don't want to trounce all over copyright. So I'm only going to read a couple. I'm going to tell you a lot about the authors. This is 4 poems from Sweden. I'm not going to read all 4, so I'd probably get in trouble. All right, this is by Marie Lundquist. Marie Lundquist is the author of 12 books of poetry and prose. Formerly a librarian and a teacher, she published her first book of poems in 1992. All right, so these have been translated into English, and I'm going to read. They deal quite a bit with gardening and death. It's kind of dark, but I liked it, so I'm going to share it with you. Here is the first one. Every time we lay claim to something, we fall into the yarns of loss. Don't let the pretense of ownership run away with you. Weak parts, like arms and legs, can so easily disappear. It just takes the heart rising out of the rib cage for death to open her only wing and sweep it toward her. Right. And the next one that I want to share with you. There are questions so delicate they cannot be asked. I've carried the buttercup guilt for so long. How unintentionally and eagerly I pulled the little ones out of the ground so they could never return. The shovels wanted to cut the questions off at the root, but they grow out on the other side organically. The next poet that I want to read for you is Nitu Das. And this is Rhesus Macaque. A strange day, long ago, Dilly's fissures created an unfurling form. The parakeets swayed and cackled, pointing feather fingers as he rose from the tiled grid, eyes sentient, tail upraised, brown like the evening as it spreads beyond the thorns. He grabs a crumb in passing, and the swarming noise of these civil lines fold the mass of roots and vines. At first, he looks like fury unentangled, a battleground inside the barbed wires. Beyond this tedious Monday calm, an algorithm without hunger, without teeth. Something thrums like a splinter of unease beneath the soles of my feet. Whose home is this? Whose home? Speaking and erasing, he traces a hunch-hewn, pink-arsed vault across multiple skies, leading my conversations astray. A slight wheeze, a few fleas, and the day grows gray as I pray and repeat. Please, please, I then throw a banana to withdraw my disgrace. Now, during the month of April, every year, I like to read from T.S. Eliot. I am quite the fan of the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock. I think it's my favorite poem. I'm pretty sure that it is. So I am going to read for you the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Let us go then, you and I, when the evening is spread out against the sky like a patient etherized upon a table. Let us go through certain half-deserted streets, the muttering retreats of restless nights and one-night cheap hotels and sawdust restaurants with oyster shells. Streets that follow like a tedious argument of insidious intent to lead you to an overwhelming question. Oh, do not ask what is it? Let us go and make our visit. In the rooms the women come and go, talking of Michelangelo. The yellow fog that rubs its back upon the window panes, the yellow smoke that rubs its muzzle on the window panes, licked its tongue into the corners of the evening, lingered upon the pools that stand in drains, let fall upon its back the soot that falls from chimneys, slipped by the terrace, made a sudden leap, and seeing that it was a soft October night, curled once about the house and fell asleep. And indeed there will be time, for the yellow smoke that slides along the street, rubbing its back upon the window panes. There will be time. There will be time to prepare a face to meet the faces that you meet. There will be time to murder and create, and time for all the works and days of hands that lift and drop a question on your plate. Time for you and time for me, and time yet for 100 indecisions, and for 100 visions and revisions before the taking of a toast and tea. In the room the women come and go, talking of Michelangelo. And indeed there will be time to wonder, do I dare? And do I dare? Time to turn back and descend the stair, with a bald spot in the middle of my hair. They will say how his hair is growing thin. My morning coat, my collar mounting firmly to the chin, my necktie rich and modest, but asserted by a cymbal pin. They will say, but how his arms and legs are thin. Do I dare disturb the universe? In a minute there is time for decisions and revisions, which a minute will reverse. For I have known them all already, known them all, have known the evenings, mornings, afternoons. I have measured out my life with coffee spoons. I know the voices dying with a dying fall beneath the music from a farther room. So how should I presume? And I have known the eyes already, known them all, the eyes that fix you in a formulated phrase. And when I am formulated, sprawling on a pin, when I am pinned and wriggling on the wall, then how should I begin to spit out all the butt ends of my days and ways? And how should I presume? And I have known the arms already, known them all, arms that are braceleted and white and bare, but in the lamplight downed with light brown hair. Is it perfume from a dress that makes me so digress? Arms that lie along a table or wrap about a shawl. And should I then presume? And how should I begin? Shall I say I have gone at dusk through narrow streets and watched the smoke that rises from the pipes of lonely men in shirt sleeves leaning out of windows? I should have been a pair of ragged claws scuttling across the floors of silent seas. And the afternoon, the evening, sleeps so peacefully, smoothed by long fingers, asleep, tired, or it malingers, stretched on the floor here beside you and me. Should I, after tea and cakes and ices, have the strength to force the moment to its crisis? But though I have wept and fasted, wept and prayed, though I have seen my head, grown slightly bald, brought in upon a platter, I am no prophet, and here's no great matter. I have seen the moment of my greatness flicker, and I have seen the eternal footman hold my coat and snicker, and in short, I was afraid. And would it have been worth it after all? After the capes, after the cups, the marmalade, the tea, among the porcelain, among some talk of you and me, would it have been worthwhile to have bitten off the matter with a smile, to have squeezed the universe into a ball, to roll it toward some overwhelming question, to say, I am Lazarus, come from the dead, come back to tell you all, I shall tell you all. If one settling a pillow by her head should say, that is not what I meant at all, that is not it at all. And would it have been worth it, after all? Would it have been worthwhile, after the sunsets and the dooryards and the sprinkled streets, after the novels, after the teacups, after the skirts that trail along the floor, and this and so much more? It is impossible to say just what I mean, but as if a magic lantern threw the nerves in patterns on a screen, would it have been worthwhile if one, settling a pillow or throwing off a shawl and turning toward the window should say, that is not it at all. That is not what I meant at all. No, I am not Prince Hamlet, nor was meant to be. I'm an attendant lord, one that will do to swell a progress, start a scene or two, advise the prince, no doubt, an easy tool, deferential, glad to be of use, politic, cautious, and meticulous, full of high sentence, but a bit obtuse. At times, indeed, almost ridiculous, almost at times the fool. I grow old, I grow old. I shall wear the bottoms of my trousers rolled. Shall I part my hair behind? Do I dare to eat a peach? I shall wear white flannel trousers and walk upon the beach. I have heard the mermaids singing, each to each. I do not think that they will sing to me. I have seen them riding seaward on the waves, combing the white hair of the waves blown back, when the wind blows the water white and black. We have lingered in the chambers of the sea by sea-girls wreathed with seaweed red and brown, till human voices wake us and we drown. Thumbs up for poetry and having an entire month of April to celebrate it. Thank you so much for tuning in.